Okay, guys, I'm here with Anthony from VR LARP, and I just got to participate in a virtual reality headset LARPing experience. It was really fun, very immersive. Do you want to say anything?
I got a couple things. For about 2 years now, we have been working on the tools necessary to integrate what you would need to run a LARP within virtual reality. Items like character sheet integration, challenge resolution, storytelling tools, that sort of thing. And it's going to be an open source software project. In its current iteration, it is run through the VR chat gaming service, I guess, for lack of a better term. But yes, it's open source, free for others to take and use as they wish at no cost. This is a passion project for me.
Okay. Yeah, I got to break into an office building and attend a Sabbat ritual and just like all this other stuff. It's a very fun thing. And if you have the time and the means to try something like this, go ahead and show you guys the website, and all that information is right here. Definitely check out their website, vrlarp.com. And I don't think anybody's going to really be disappointed. All right, greetings, Kindred. I am voivodemekhet, and this is Maven, the fangsmith, and he just made these awesome, custom fangs for me. You want to tell them a little bit about yourself?
Well, I actually coined the term fangsmith in 1997 before I was actually even making fangs. I was a marketing department for our company, and then within 6 months I actually started making them myself. So I've been doing them for about 25 years now, and I specialize in subtle and realistic as well as color matched. So I have a nice balance between those three.
Yeah, it is. It's a really good. It's a good match.
Yeah. So this is it's been a big passion of mine for the last quarter century.
Cool.
And it's a good life, and I meet people like this guy.
Yeah.
But so you can check me out at thefangsmith.com.
Fangsmith.com. Very cool. Thank you very much for my fangs, and also saying something to my little community here. We really appreciate it.
All right.
And so thank you.
Pleasure.
Thanks. All right. So probably gonna go meet some more people. All right. See you now.
Have fun.
Okay, guys. I am here with Aaron Bryant, who is what should we call you? Like the head writer for?
I'm not the head writer.
What are you? I don't know.
I'm a writer for Darkness Emergent.
He's a writer or an writer. He's a writer. It's 2 in the morning. Okay, leave me alone. Anyway, I'm here with Aaron Bryant, who's a writer for Darkness Emergent, and he helped write a lot of the plot line and everything. So we're gonna do your plot tomorrow.
Yes, that is factually accurate.
What do you think?
I'm nervous. Extenuating. Do I explain my situation?
As much as you can. Don't obviously no spoilers because I get to experience.
Right. So this is like only the second time I've ever done LARP.
Yeah.
I got in on this job through accreditation through previous works of writing that I've done. Okay. So I have a basis of skill, but I'm still nervous as hell because LARP is a space I don't normally engage with. Not that, it's bad. I just haven't had the opportunity to do it a bunch.
Well, we LARPed tonight. Together, we were in like a coterie together.
It was interesting how our stories ended up lining up.
Yes.
Because the whole thing with my character having a reserve and then you just own a zoo and it's like bam, click, bam. It was weird how serendipitous that felt. And a lot of our abilities ended up working together really well.
Very much.
But yeah, I'm pretty nervous in general. I feel like I've done good writing, but like. The imposter syndrome. It's hard.
It happens. But you're good.
Thank you.
From what we've experienced and even just role playing together, like you're good at building the story.
Thank you.
And that's great. So we got to play in, Canada at midnight?
Yeah.
We played Canada at Midnight's game tonight, where Aaron played a gangrel who's like new to everything, trying to figure out
6 months old. The classic gangrel embrace and run.
Yeah.
My dad went to go get a blood bag, but that was 7 years ago. He never came back.
So I didn't want to bring my character that I'm going to be playing tomorrow night into a different game and like mix up plot lines and everything else, which apparently I could have because it was in San Antonio anyway.
Yeah.
So I could have gotten away with it. I thought the game was going to be set in Canada because it's Canada at midnight.
No, everybody was just in San Antonio.
So I played a Golconda-seeking Tremere zookeeper.
This sentence is a fucking
Is that not the best? I played the most humane character I have ever played, and he was a Tremere.
I think
I played Salubri that were more dark than that guy.
I think my favorite thing of the night is we were hunting down this dude, and all we had was a name J.J. Williams.
Hell yeah.
And you pulled
Trail of the Prey, man.
this
illuminate the trail.
Everybody
of the
was
prey.
like, we've got to suss out who a JJ actually is and throw him under the bus. And you're like, where was the location? Do you know his location? And it's like, yeah, he's been here. And
I was like, all right, give me 2 minutes.
Fuck it. And so you just did this ritual, and you just knew where the hell he was, and it got everybody to finally shut up and do stuff.
We got to cover up the masquerade tonight.
Yeah.
Save a life.
And I got to be a bear,
You got to
hopped
be a
up
bear.
on cocaine, and
Were you?
no, not
There were
really.
no drugs involved.
Yeah, no, there was no. But they called me Cocaine Mom Bear.
I know. We had Pablo Escobar over here. But
I ate a dude's face. It was great.
You did. It was crunchy, like pork rinds, apparently.
Yes.
So aside from the fact that we got to play in that game and experience I haven't role played in forever. Like I storytell constantly, but like actually getting to play is amazing. And so Ryan and I got set up as roommates here at the Valencia Hotel.
Ryan.
And did I call you Ryan?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't call you Andy.
This is like the 5th time you've called me Ryan. It's okay.
I'm tired. Anyway,
Aaron.
Andy Orion.
Andorian.
Aaron and I got set up as roommates for this adventure. They were roommates. Oh my god.
But yeah, it's been great getting to know you. You're like a really cool fucking dude, and I'm very glad we got
And you're a fellow Floridian.
Yes.
So it's awesome. We're actually just a few hours away from each other.
We're gonna do more stuff.
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna get into a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
And we also found out that the dude who wrote most of Laws of the Night 5th edition, or I can't say that, the directive writer of Laws of the Night lives about an hour away from me too. So I got a new stalking perk. Like
we got a whole new.
No, it's just fun to realize how many of us actually live near each other.
In the worst place in the world.
In the worst place in the world, where swamp ass is a food group.
Yep.
Yeah. That is the worst thing to say.
No.
I might edit that out. I might not. I really don't know.
Leave it in.
Leave it in.
They must know.
Leave it in. It's okay. For those of you who do not know, crotch rot. It starts off as trench foot, which is a World War I ailment. If it goes up your leg and becomes swamp ass, which is a Florida delicacy. And then if it gets around, it becomes crotch rot.
I hate everything about this. It's not inaccurate, which is why it's terrible.
The worst part is I'm 100% sober.
Yeah.
I've been drinking tea, real tea, not like Long Island iced tea.
Yeah.
I've been drinking tea and water all night. I'm just in a good mood.
You're jubilant. You're glowing.
I am. I'm jubilant. Anyway, I think that's about it. This is actually part 1 of this interview. Because I want an after interview after your plot line is run through.
Nails it after
it's going to be amazing.
Is awesome.
I'm excited. I get to play as Zemitzi in this plot line. It's going to be great. Anyway,
I'm excited.
We'll see how the next one goes.
I'm scared.
Friends from Canada at midnight who ran their game last night. Did you guys have a chance to go play there?
Yes.
Did you guys have a great time?
Yeah. So good.
Right. Okay, now as we go on and we continue to do these experiences, expect to see more of that, right? Also note that it's not exclusive to any one particular club either. So like all the clubs will be able to participate, large troop games can also participate. So keep that in mind that as we continue on with these series of events and we create these World of Darkness experiences, that we will have people running different kinds of games from around the world, really, okay? So remember that. All right, so I wanted to give you guys some housekeeping reminders. Today, between 4 and 6:30, in the hotel lobby downstairs, we will have our furry wolfie friends, okay? They'll be down there for some pictures, okay? So please, 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 if you're interested in taking pictures with our furry friends, do it today between 4 and 6:30 in the hotel lobby. Now, the animals will be taken to our game location after the fact, so there will be another opportunity to take pictures with them. But honestly, if you want to get it done, I would get it done here, right? Because the line could get a little heavy over there, plus it's a different location. So try to get them done here. All right. Another very exciting thing, okay? Amongst our swag in the vendor room are 4 golden tickets, okay? These 4 golden tickets each have a $250 purchasing spree. All right, so for example, if you're in the vendor room and you decide to buy something from our table and you open it up and you get a golden ticket, you can then get $250 more worth of the BNS stuff that's there. Okay, so 4 golden tickets. Please keep your eyes out for them. It's exciting stuff.
Nice.
I wish I won it, but please, please, please go in there and know that at least 4 people are going to have a nice shopping spree. Cool?
Very cool.
Yeah. All right. So I want to talk a little bit about, how we got here today. And the first thing I do want to do is I want to say hello and give a call out to Richard Dansky. He's our VIP guest, and he's going to be speaking with us at 2 p.m. today about his history of development with White Wolf, our World of Darkness.
All hail the LARP daddy.
And his many decades of game development experience. We also have another VIP guest with us as well, Cynthia Marie. She's one of the cast members of Los Angeles by Night. If you guys are following that online, it's engaging.
It's awesome.
It's very, very engaging, right? And she's going to be here as well. Pete, I think you're hosting a Q&A session with her at 1 p.m. Okay, guys? So please go check that out as well. You can ask her some questions. Be fun. All right. So one of the things that we also want to do is kind of give a shout out and respect, to where this all came from. We had the original writers, for those of you who know Mark Reinhagen, he's a pretty cool dude. Grammy Travis, Tom Dowd, Lisa Stevens, Stuart Wick. There were a lot of people who were involved in creating Vampire the Masquerade about 30 years ago right now, right? Created a whole new genre. Right? That then led into this wonderful thing that we do called LARP. All right? I happen to have been one of the people that's been around since '96. So as soon as I joined, was this genre of game was like right after all the people started LARPing in the Seattle area and people started growing, turning this amazing tabletop game into something that we could do interpersonally in a live environment, right? So hats off to those people who created this world. I would say Vampire the Masquerade is one of the genres that, and most of the World of Darkness folks, by the way, one of the genres that are almost self-running. If you get enough people playing these games, the storytellers can pretty much just facilitate, right? Now, hats off to our storytellers, right? Because they're always creating more engaging games, but that's part of the magic of the World of Darkness, is that I know you can put me in a room with 5 other players and we got it. Right? Because the world is so rich and so encompassing and so large, right? So hats off to the people who came before us, those of us who created this wonderful environment to all of us, right? Yay! Yay!
It's so early.
Please edit.
I have canned applause that I'll add. Don't worry.
It's true. It's like no matter how old I get, I still
You're like the blinking cheer sign that goes up on the top.
All right. Also, hats off to the people who have been working with us from Laws of the Night since the very, very beginning. Laws and Knight's been around for 20 years or so, right? 25? Yeah, long time. We got Jason Carl. Everybody should know who Jason Carl is, right?
Yes.
Please tell me you guys know who he is.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so we got Jason Carl, Jess Henning, Peter Woodworth, Richard Dansky, again, somebody who can get to speak with later, right? More hats off to all of them. Again, if you haven't had a chance to check out LA by Night, please do so. Jason runs that. It's a lot of fun to watch.
I just want to point out, he is telling a vampire story this weekend. He's in Bristol, England, doing D&D and Castle Curse of Strahd.
Yeah.
Yep. Ooh.
Higher edition.
Which is why he's not here.
Yes.
I know.
And I'm working with him to be at future DDs.
Very cool.
You let him know I said so. He better show up. Yeah, okay. So yes, hopefully we'll be able to have him as one of our guests, VIP guests at the next time, right?
Nice.
Storyteller.
Storyteller.
Tabletop.
Tabletop.
Yeah.
Oh, neat. That'd be fun.
All right. Want to talk a little bit about our V5 settings, because everyone's excited for V5, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
All right. So you can see
Bread and
some of the
butter.
setting themes that we have up here, like where the game is going to be concentrated on, right? The Second Inquisition, lots of anarchy, anarch revolt, Sabbat Exodus, Thin Bloods, you know, everything you see here. This is like the juice, where it's going to be, right? So keep this in mind as we start running these games, right? Okay, and guess what's coming out?
Yes. Yes.
Yay!
Oh yeah.
It is the first mechanically and setting aligned MET book in 20 years, guys. So it's been a long time since we've done that, where we've had those two things aligned like that. Their PDF is available now for Pocket and Deluxe. The PDF is available now, and the Deluxe is going to printer in early November and shipping most likely in February, for those of you who are waiting for your copy.
Yes.
And that deluxe PDF is very pretty.
Yeah, it is.
It is very pretty. All right, guys. I know one of the things that you guys are very curious about is tech, right? How are we going to be using tech in the future in order to make this a more enriching and fun experience?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Would you like to put somebody in a hot seat about that?
Kinda.
Okay, because I love embarrassing my husband. Get on up here, Pete, and let's talk about tech.
That's why she's building it up like that. Okay. Yes, my name is Pete Hudiker. I am the director of technology or something for technology helper guide something. So I am here to talk about some of our plans for the future and how to utilize technology in helping organize, control, and in some aspects facilitate play.
Oh my god.
Yes. Yes. Friggin' grapevine. Oh my
I
god.
just felt myself physically aged.
Yeah, exactly.
I nostalgia swooned.
It's great fine, which many of you know is
Oh my
how it
God.
started for us to be able to track characters in a database. The good news is this isn't what this
It was so good and bad at the same time.
I loved it so
But we do
much.
need to,
It was flexible.
This is what we want in a more modern tool.
Yeah.
And that is the direction that we are definitely going to be going. Troop organization. Our goals for technology is to be able to provide a web interface and maybe connected app tools for member organization, for when people are playing in their local games, to be able to organize their players and do check-in for those events. Character management, of course, ties into that. We've got lofty goals for how character creation can be done, character creation wizards to help people create their characters online. Maybe if there are new players and you need to be able to whip something together and they don't have access to the books, but with a character creation wizard, they could put something together pretty meaningfully to prepare for a game. Messaging platform as a way to be able to connect with other players geographically if you're looking for other games and be able to message them. That's something we're looking for. For feeding systems, this is related to character check-in, so that when you have an organizational unit, if you're going to be using the tools for your local game, check in, get your initial feeding tests and stuff like that to set you up for the night. Discord integrations. This is down the line, but with so many people using Discord for communication and their troops, to be able to connect to the APIs for this character database, to be able to have that bot running in your troop channel to spit out your character sheet, or to identify who the court officers are in your organizational unit within your city. So Discord integrations for that type of communications and tie-in. The SRD, integrating that along with the online tools so that we have access to all of the SRD information for your character sheets and stuff online.
What's an SRD?
What?
What's an SRD?
Systems Resource Database.
What's
Document.
Can you describe what it does?
Document? Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
For the layman out here.
It's a rule book.
It is. It's the online rule book. The
them.
SRD is a relational database that will have all of the information behind, basically all the mechanics behind the book that are available in a searchable format.
Very cool.
Yeah?
Your last SRD was completely in-house, but this one's interacting with copyrighted material from Paradox. So how would that, how can you have a full-on SRD when everything is going to be copyrighted by Paradox Interactive?
Well,
So it's going to be an SRD for the LARP.
Yeah,
it's for our products.
Laws of the Night.
For Laws of the Night, not for the tabletop stuff.
Right, but Potent, Celerity, Venture, Camarilla, all those are copyrighted terms, aren't they?
They were in the last edition, and we used them too. We have rights to that.
Yeah, but it's all under our license to use those.
Okay, so
things
you do have permission to use all that good stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, clearly for all the products that are coming out for Laws of the Night, because that's all licensed.
Well, even with the Dark Pack agreement, I mean,
Well, they
Still get away with it.
check, so we presume that we.
That's how you get into court really fast with presumption.
Yeah, so we're still putting together timelines for this. We're looking at stuff for next year into 25 as far as when pieces of the tools will become available. But that's the direction that we're headed to hopefully help organize the community and draw more people in.
Okay, yes, all right.
That's all I've got.
Well, now you got to introduce Jimmy.
Yeah, I know. Laws of the Night. That wasn't the.
on time.
You're good.
Sorry, it says.
Give me my slide.
Here you go.
It says what's next.
It's
Laws of the
okay,
Night.
you can
Just
sit
launched
down,
on time.
Are you
Jimmy.
having with the technology?
I don't know the last time that I've touched PowerPoint, okay? There's no coding involved in this.
True.
But anyways, to talk about what's next, that's Jimmy. And
Our fearless leader.
All right. Thanks, everybody. So, first thing I wanted to mention, of course, Laws of the Night. We delivered the digital PDF of the deluxe edition just last week, so we are on time. We wanted to do an initial PDF in September. We made that, and the deluxe is ready to go and looks pretty good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good? Okay.
Very much.
So yeah, we're very proud of that. But I want to talk a bit too. Why did we kind of choose this next step? To move forward with Laws of the Night and going to V5. We actually gained quite a lot of that. As mentioned, we are now fully aligned with the tabletop rules. That allows us to do a lot more things. As you might have noticed, we had kind of a publishing backlog of materials we just wanted to push out, but the World of Darkness is a big IP, and they have to give full attention to tabletop books. But now that we are in effective lockstep, we have there's so much more that we can do. Materials that can be tied in, now that the settings are aligned. So we're really stoked about that. One other thing that it also lets us do is have a little bit faster of a publishing schedule. So our hope moving forward is to do 1 to 2 books a year that can help further and develop the setting as well. Whereas I don't know if you noticed, but we were doing like maybe one every 2 or 3. So we're really stoked to do that. What's next? Well, our next book is going to cover societies and antagonists. We do have an outline that's been approved by Paradox, so we've already done a good deal of work on that. Jason and Corrigan here are fantastic developers. Just as a top level, these are some of the topics that we're going to cover in the next book. The Sabbat, which might be playable. Maybe.
Come on. It's playable regardless of what you guys say.
We promise to ask if we can make them playable.
We're gonna do it.
All right.
Players will find a way to play the
Right,
Sabbat.
and if they say no and Sabbat games happen,
What are they gonna do? Tell us to stop playing their game and buying their stuff?
They have a tabletop book for Sabbat that in the beginning of it says, this is not for player characters, this is for storyteller use.
Right.
And I can tell you how many people have listened to that. And I can count them on one hand.
And if we have a similar note that says don't play Sabbat, all of you will have to make sure and obey that and not.
I want to point out
That's funny.
the same author of the
There's
Sabbat
going to be
book.
another masquerade.
Where do we sign the NDA?
Yes,
The same author of the Paradox book, Sabbat book, then turn around 3 months later and publish it in the Vault.
Yeah, Khalil.
The playable version of Sabbat.
Yep.
Right? They knew what he was doing.
The same people who wrote the Sabbat book for the storytellers wrote the Sabbat book for the players.
Yep.
Right.
Just one got published and one's in the vault.
All right, so keep that in mind. We're I'm sure there's a
They're both good.
conversation coming up.
I don't know if it's a copy.
Cults and religions, material I'm guessing from Cults of the Blood God. That's right. Okay.
Makes sense.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay. Storyteller
The two
guides.
best books.
There's going to be additional materials, advanced methodologies for running games, storyteller aids, things like that, more complex systems. If you want that, more second and position stuff. I think that stuff's already. You guys already wrote that stuff, right? Didn't you?
Powers for the hunters to actually become a threat to vampires.
Ooh, we bring back the imbued.
No.
Bring them back.
No.
Maybe.
Please, no.
I mean, Society of Leopold's already in tabletop.
They're
and they
not
got,
imbued, they're entitled. That's different.
they still got magic.
Whether it's there or not, we're still going to repeatedly buy those books.
Yes.
They still have god magic.
Let's see, more powers for vampire PCs,
Jesus juice.
ceremonies, blood sorcery, thin blood alchemy stuff, all that in the works, and more lore sheets. Lore sheets, I think, is one of the things that everybody just universally loved. I haven't heard a bad
It's
thing
such
about
a good idea.
Yeah, I haven't heard a bad thing about lore sheets yet. So we'll have more of those coming too.
Limiting to one is a little restricted, but we'll go from there.
That's aligned with tabletop
That's
also.
for storytellers, so.
I'll stop here. Any questions about future vampire books we can help answer?
Well, the powers match. I mean, the current book matches the core rule book, and I think the first 2 other 4 that came out. They've had a lot of other books come out since with 1 or 2 powers in each of the guides. Well, did these books have all those powers too, or how far behind do you think it'll
They're
be?
appropriate to LARP. Like most of those powers from the Sabbat book, we've already adapted, stuff like that.
Forgive me if there's something already in place, but I'm not aware. So is there something that explains how if someone wanted to swap out a discipline power for something else that is published later on, like, hey, I like this new obfuscate level 2 power better than the one that I purchased previously, and I don't want to, but I've already maxed out on all my obfuscate things, so I can't buy it as a 5th dot. Is there something that...
I hope your storyteller
Yeah.
lets you do it.
Talk to your...
Yeah.
I remember like back in '99, like we converted from the Grey Book Laws of the Night to like the Black Book Laws of the Night, and like we got to swap out everything, and some of us got
Conceptual rebuild.
Right.
And that note is in chapter 10, where it says Rule 0, storytelling discretion, and then in a big box. Apply it religiously. Storytellers have a great time.
Yep.
If you want to let your players swap something up for something new that is, has been published, that's totally up to you.
And if you're worried about it, if you're worried about it specifically from like the Canada at Midnight where you're playing in, don't worry. I've already considered that when more books become published.
What was the reason for limiting it to 5 powers in a given discipline? Why not give the ability to purchase more?
That was a B5 thing. There's also like a design concept in play. Like if the more limitations or gating, as it's often called. Like if I know you can't have this power and that power and that power, I can make them all stronger. But if I have to plan for the fact that you can have A and B and C, I've got to really dial down the power and make sure that like it's not going to break the system. But if there's guardrails in place and it's either or, then we can give you a stronger power in each of those slots.
The other reason to do it is you can have well, for example, this is one I love. You can have a Brujah with Potent Celerity and Presence 5, and another Brujah with those same powers, and they can look completely different.
Yeah.
So you can have a Brujah clan meeting where every character looks a little different. It makes your choices matter more when there are some degrees of restrictions there, and so.
And you also run into this little gem. You got a Brujah meeting, 50 Brujah in a room. Every one of them's got Burning Wrath without fail.
The packs
It's just too
prior,
goddamn good, so everybody has it. But now you're forced to diversify.
And I mean, you can see even just within a single discipline the number of variations you can have. You've got your control Brujah doing Earth Shock and Relentless Pursuit, whose job it is to just lock enemies down, and then you got the single target damage guys just
Fist
doing
of
a thing.
caning.
That's in one power, right?
Fisting the enemy.
We had to eat that last night, didn't we?
Huh?
We had to deal with that last night.
Fisting the enemy?
Reason why
Fist of cane.
specific disciplines were removed, like Burning Wrath?
Oh, there's a much bigger reason for that. The reason for that is because the central design philosophy behind Vampire the Masquerade 5th Edition changed. Clans are no longer defined by their disciplines; they're defined by their banes. So then you take the player favorites and you make them into amalgams, and those amalgams happen to be things that specific clans would have in clan. Except for if you think of one.
I actually do have a book question.
Oh, sure. Can I jump to the gentleman there first? He had his hand up.
Yeah, sorry. So forgive my ignorance, but so when you said earlier you were talking about the new book's going to be coming out with powers, you said like rituals, then you said blood sorcery. Do you mean like all disciplines are going to be getting more, or is blood sorcery going to be looking at like we're doing paths again?
Oh well, it's always easy to do more blood sorcery, more oblivion, just because it's not hard to tack on. I don't think that we're going back to paths again specifically. I don't know about you guys. Like when we went to do new paths, like for the last book, it's really hard to write paths. You think you have first you need a central theme, and then you need 5 good powers that are all around it, and I don't know, Jason. I'm sure you remember.
Down to 3.
Yeah, the days of Trump, we were banging our head against the wall. We need meaningful paths, with concepts that you get, Jason managed to put together the first new coherent thaumaturgy path in years. It was
you've done a board. There are no.
And named it something you hated.
Yes. I don't want. I mean, I'll talk about previous edition stuff if you want, but yes, he's like, if I get one thing, I want to keep the name of this path. And I was like the pact is sealed, Jason. That is your one thing, and nothing else.
I have a question, primarily because I get asked this all the time, and I have no idea how the hell to answer it.
Yeah.
Why did Laws of the Night 5th Edition decide that it was going to drop disciplines off of the predator types? Because it used to be if you become this, you get a discipline that kind of steps outside.
We wanted predator type to be a narrative choice, not I want this power for a mechanics purpose.
Okay.
And that's why we gave you an extra 4th dot. So in theory, you could take the predator type from tabletop, and whatever I gave you, that's your 4th dot.
Okay.
You don't want to be told you have a less good build,
Yeah.
Or suboptimal build. Or something.
We want you to pick, the bagger because you need an extra dot of celerity.
Okay.
You can still get that extra dot of celerity because we have 4 character creation dots instead of 3.
Okay. I was just wondering what the reason behind not making that 4th dot associated with a predator type.
Yeah, gotcha. All right, I don't want to linger too much longer on this. If we're going to Vampires and Beano, you have the chance to ask these guys all the questions you want, and they'll be liquored up, so they'll probably be a lot more. They're answering.
Now that you're lubed.
Also next, coming up, we're going to make a werewolf book.
Hell yes.
2025, most likely.
Yes.
Thanks to those who joined us for Werewolves and Whiskey yesterday. But just to talk about it in kind of broad strokes, and we'll very closely follow the I don't know, did I call it W5? Yeah, the W5 werewolf book.
I called dibs.
What's that?
I call dibs.
Oh, call dibs?
Yeah.
WW5.
Aaron has dibs.
You got your first playtester right there.
It will probably be a pretty faithful port done the same way. We're not going to go so far as to push new narrative stuff, new setting materials, and should be pretty fun.
W5 is just pretty anyway. It's just really nice.
Good. Enjoy it. Also, of course, Hunter. We are going to do Hunter. Very likely, it might be a more limited release book. Certainly have all the mechanics, certainly all the powers, everything you need to play Hunter. We may be a little lighter in social systems because, unlike vampires and werewolves, I don't think Hunters have this complex of a social society. Like, there's no sheriff or like warden or anything, or master of challenge or anything like that. But we will deliver a Hunter book for those those interested in that.
Corrigan did a good job yesterday briefly the social aspects of Hunter. Can you share a little more about that? It's about the tiers,
Oh, sure. And this is actually something I thought the guys in NWAT did really well in Hunter the Vigil. You got sort of in Vigil they had 3 tiers of hunters, which were your street level guys, your regional guys and compacts, and then your tier 3s were your national and global conspiracies. Tier 3 said superpowers. We're going to be in alignment with H5 on what's going on, with hunters in terms of their mechanics. But the point is that at low level hunters, tier 1 hunters who were like they were out beating the streets and fighting monsters in their local level. They're going to have, sort of cell politics. Like you got to add, to make Hunter really pop as a LARP, you got to add some sort of element that give characters reasons to clash, but in a non-lethal way, where they've got reasons to have political differences. And I mean, part of that is you've got your local kind of squads. And they might be having beef over territory, where they are, or what should we do about a particular issue. And then you throw in at a higher level, you've got your government agencies where, if you look in the Second Inquisition book, you can, just in the United States section, you can see that there are 3 different government agencies who are all deeply involved in hunting. They all have different strengths and weaknesses, and they don't agree on what should happen.
Like working with pigs and feds.
Yep.
So then you take, disagreement among government agencies and combine the fact that those government agencies are not all seeing and all knowing, and they don't have unending resources. They're sort of in a black, they've got a black budget. And they're like, for example, First Light, it says in Second Inquisition, they've got they have their own specific hunter killer teams, a small number, and they outsource a lot of stuff to local hunter groups. So it might be in your your local level hunter game. Your cell has as a criminal contact who heard about a job from a dirty cop, and that dirty cop happens to be connected to someone from where it's coming down on high, the job's being fed to the local level through proxies, and then the local level hunters are carrying out a job that they don't know where it's coming from. They think it's just coming from their boy, but it's actually coming from, a government black budget. Sort of things like that, trying to get at, make the conspiracy feel of Hunter and basically the global feel of Hunter and also the politics behind Hunter a little bit more playable and you can feel it more, which makes for a more vibrant LARP experience, because LARP isn't really just 5 people go off for their storyteller to kill a monster of the week. You want to try to make it pop as a room full of people moving socially. Hopefully that answers your question.
I'm so glad to hear of Corrigan's commitment to the book before we signed him the contract. So thanks.
Thank you. Hey, you just asked me to summarize something I said at a panel. A theory I had one time.
It's pre-gaming.
Right. But I that sounds really good. Of course, when you're a vampire, hunter groups have all the funding. They are unlimited in number. But when you're a hunter, you have expense reports and budgets and problems. There's really not that many of you guys.
That's why you gotta go.
So many baseball bats at the local hardware shop.
That's why you gotta go freelance, man.
Can you imagine having to play the hunter admin that's doing all the reports after the fact? How do I expense
the local quartermaster?
Yeah, how do I expense 3 gallons of kerosene without sounding like a dick?
It's scary when their last name is Milliner.
Okay. Lastly, yeah.
Hide that slide. Hide
I know. I thought the slide. Yeah. I asked to remove the slide, but that's fine. So if the tabletop editions do it, we will do our best to follow. We think. I mean, if I were to give my unofficial gut check as to probably where they go next, I think mages. There's a good chance mage. There's a good chance Dark Ages. Mummy, demon, maybe not. Wraith, we'll see. Changeling, I hope.
Well, demon never got a good LARP
Right, there's like the unofficial book that kind of came out.
Yeah.
Right. But there we go. We got time left in the room?
Well, back in your work.
Okay. Yeah. So sure. So one note about the game tonight. There's been an email and an SMS or blast about where the factions meet. If you haven't picked one, please find Cheshire around.
He's downstairs right now waiting for you.
Yeah. And he will guide you to an appropriate one. All the faction locations are here at the hotel, so you'll be at one of those at 6. You'll chat for about an hour, get to know people, and then you can, as a group, go to the next site, which is really, really cool. I got to see it last night. It's
very cool.
A phenomenal space. It's like a totally different set of rooms than the can game last night.
Yep.
Do you want me to detail where those locations are, since you really don't know and I've inflicted them on you?
I assume they're in the email, but sure.
They are, but
all right.
Can you speak
I'm
up?
a live person. So if you're digital, you can see right here, your space. If you are part of the Midnight Congregation, if you haven't been to the 3rd floor atrium, and you should do it, because it's really pretty. After 5, they've got waterfall and fire out there. And at 6 tonight, there'll be the Midnight Congregation guys. Next to the bar, there's a fireplace with a bunch of comfy couches. That's where Hunt Club's meeting. Chimera, just down from registration, there's like a semicircle room that looks out on the street with all the glass. Kind of looks like it should be a coffee bar. That's where Chimera is going. If you're part of the executive group, there is an executive boardroom that none of you have seen yet that is super pretty. It has 13 chairs and they're all leather and it's got stone lit walls, and if you're part of that group, you get to see the secret room in the hotel.
Where's that at?
Top floor.
Top floor. Of course, the executives.
Oh,
nice. Executives.
Can I change my background?
Nope.
When are these meetings happening?
6
o'clock.
If you're an Oral Shield and you're after magic items.
See if you're an oral shield.
Auroral.
Oral Shield is something different. Sorry.
So that's a Toreador club, right?
They're in the library, which is the lounge just out this door and to the right. And then, since I'm already murdering names, what's the Lily one, guys?
In English, it's the wilting lily.
Okay, the wilted lilies get the lobby fountain area with all the glass and water and
Oh, that's
candles.
nice.
So if you can't find them, I'll be in the vendor hall and you can come bug me and I'll point you in the right direction again.
Hey, when we're done here, let me give you this beer. I won't forget it.
Yep.
It might be after lunch because I'm going to be meeting my aunt very soon for lunch.
All players are staying at the hotel.
Are you doing
Find a buddy.
vampires and Vino? No.
I'll also let
Just like I tell
I
everybody.
was going to literally just go grab it and just give it to you. Like right
I'll also
after
let
the-
the front desk know that we've got some people that need to get places that may not be staying, so they can
Aaron,
facilitate.
I'm rooming with Aaron if you want to give it to him. Gomez.
Is the next thing Wolves? Because I wanted to talk about Wolves before.
My Aaron.
We're out of slides.
Great. So
Everyone needs
if
an
you've
Aaron.
got wolf shots at 4 o'clock tonight, they're going to be down in the lobby to take pro shots with. And if you haven't bought pro shots, we've got a professional photographer coming in to do suites of shots with you folks in costume if you wanted to support the wolf rescue. They'll be downstairs in the glass and the water tonight at 4. Then they're going to be walking past the Majestic. You can take shots there. There's a park called Tyler Park in between here and where they were last night. They can go there for shots, and then they're going to go down by the beginning of the the event tonight and be in front of Patos from 6 to 6:30. So if you get in costume and you've paid for the package, you can do it then. Yes?
No one will be there at 6:30, because we'll be still here. Everybody will be here until 7.
Well, okay. So, but they're here today from 4 to 7 in between those two places. So if you bought the package, get to those places, come see many people.
Photos we get?
It's like 5 minutes of photos. So if you were primping for full 5 minutes, maybe 1. If you were ready to go,
We pull others into our photos?
You can.
And if some of us still want to get those pictures, where do we go?
You can talk to Celia downstairs, or if you procrastinate, the Mattersville people have a square and they can do it on the fly there. And that would probably be better because then no money's going to them.
Yeah.
All the money just goes to them. We don't need to collect it. It's all for them. So.
Anything else?
I have one last thing to add. So those, I know a lot of people went last night. It was awesome event, Camp Midnight. Thank you, Camp Midnight, for your
Yes.
Great stuff.
Talk about how awesome it was.
Oh, thanks.
Tonight's venue,
I'm just a guy running the game.
You're going to go to the same spot. The only difference is, it'll be an email and SMS, I'm sure they're done, is when you walk into Pat O'Brien's and you go past the bar and you went upstairs, you're not going to do that. You're going to go to the stairs and go, I should not go that way. You're going to take a left, you take a right, through a creepy hallway with an altar and all the stuff up there, and you're going to step outside to the open sunlight or starlight, and there'll be another door with a sign that says, go this way.
All right, is that it? All right, thanks everybody.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Have a good time tonight.
Go ahead and say. All right, guys. I'm actually sitting at the bar in the Valencia Hotel right now with Richard Dansky. And for anybody who does not know who that is, you want to tell them? You know who you are?
Hi, I'm Richard Dansky. I was at White Wolf Inn House from 1995 to 1999. I was the designer of the original Laws of the Night, as well as many books for Wraith the Oblivion, Vampire the Dark Ages, and several other product lines. And I wrote the Lusambra Clan novel. And I am having an absolute blast here in San Antonio with all the vampires.
All right. This trip just keeps getting better and better. Okay. Okay. Now I'm actually sitting here with Daphne Reeder, the CEO of By Night Studios. Hi, Daphne.
Hi.
What do you think of the event so far?
I think everything's going amazingly. Everyone's been very happy. I've gotten lots of compliments on the things that we've been doing. The Fangsmith,
yes,
he's super happy. Apparently, people are very impressed with his work and everything like that.
Yeah, I got a pair.
Ooh. Oh, you did get a pair.
I did.
I got mine today.
I got a pair.
We've got lots of people. There's someone dressing up right now who just walked down the stairs.
Yeah, I know. Costumes 24/7.
All the guests are enjoying themselves, and I like seeing everyone being happy, and I haven't heard anything negative yet, so
Yeah, bye.
Nothing's on fire.
Nothing is on fire. That shouldn't be.
That is true.
Nothing's on fire that shouldn't be.
I always made a comment of, you know that your event's going well when nobody needs you.
Mm-hmm.
I've had people walk by and go, "Don't worry, we don't need you for anything."
We got everything
And I was
covered.
like, okay, that makes me really happy.
So tonight is like the main event.
Yes.
Are you expecting anything to happen, or?
Well, I'm playing a Malkavian, so I'm expecting shenanigans of some kind to
Okay.
happen.
Very good.
I am, as I like to call, a shenanigator.
A shenanigator?
Yes, the
I like
instigator
that.
of shenanigans, yes. Feel free to use that.
Okay. That sounds kind of like an archetype for a Ragabash Macaulay.
Yeah.
A shenanigator.
Yeah. But everything's fine.
Very good.
Yeah, I'm expecting just lots of intrigue. We've got multiple plots just intertwining with each other, and there is going to always be something for someone to do.
And this is going to be the beginning of an ongoing plot line, from what I understand, for Darkness Emergent.
Yes, in fact, we're going to be doing at least 3 to 4 events in different locations every single year. Hopefully, if we get things the way we really want them, we want to do 3 local locations and 1 international location, but all the stories will tie together.
Very cool.
And for people who are in the troops or like the individual groups, you can actually bring your character in and tie those things in together. So it's bringing the community together a lot.
Nice. Any idea how you're planning on stranding them together? Like, obviously, if you can't tell me, you can't tell me. But like, how do you plan on bringing something like that together?
Probably interconnecting storylines. So we'll take some things that happened here at Deep in the Heart and go, remember when this happened? Well, here's some things to tie to that. Or when there's, remember this little plot cookie that you had here?
Yeah.
It's going to be useful here down the line.
Very cool.
So everything is going to have this really awesome tie together.
Cool. I guess that's really all I wanted to bug you about. Anything you want to tell the Our World of Darkness community for this?
Keep LARPing.
Keep LARPing.
Enjoy life and keep LARPing.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. Sorry that the light sucks, but our Darkness Emergent event is over, and I am yet again here with Aaron to discuss how he feels now that his baby has been gone through. How do you feel?
I'm kind of shocked at how well it went. My first plot line, Embracing Disgrace, immediately like half the room was invested in that.
Yep.
And then after the initial investment, a bunch of people kind of fell off from it. But there was one man who spent 3 hours of the night trying to save this woman.
Okay.
And I had never, I had both the adulation of a crowd and then the dedication of one person. And I think that's like both types of really encouraging energies.
Yeah.
So that was great. My second plot line, Coming of Age, the werewolf in that, played by Julia, raised a fucking army of 20 vampires, got the protection of the prince, and then escaped the Hunt Club because they'd befriended a Giovanni.
Awesome.
So that was
Ryan's Giovanni.
Ryan's Giovanni.
Okay,
yeah. That was absolutely fucking bonkers. And then one of my factions absolutely slaughtered their goal and ruined a bunch of other factions' goals.
Awesome.
And then the other faction, the Hunt Club, they failed so miserably it was comical.
Okay.
I put it into canon that the Hunt Club in San Antonio disbanded because of how poorly.
Holy crap! You disbanded a faction?
Yeah, because they literally just did so horrible. They basically seppuku'd themselves.
Oh my god!
Out of shame. So all of my nerves now gone because the event's gone. The only thing I'm left with is horrific depression because I'm gonna miss you.
Aww. Yeah. I am gonna take you to the airport tomorrow morning though, so
I mean,
we'll have a little bit of
tomorrow
time.
morning is really just several hours from now.
Yeah, I know. Should we sleep?
I'm not gonna.
Okay.
I don't sleep before plane rides because then I can just sleep through the plane ride.
Okay. I guess we're up all night celebrating the Darkness Emergent event. This was a lot of fun.
If you need to sleep, I'm not gonna keep you.
I'll sleep when I'm dead.
I love you, buddy.
Yeah. if I really need sleep that bad, I will stop and get food. Because I can live between those two things. Okay. All right. Any last things you want to say about this?
I'm really excited to do any more work that I might get with Y Night Studios, and I hope to see you at any future events, whoever's out there, and say hi.
All right. We had a lot of fun. You guys will probably get more voivodemekhet, like in-character videos, since I actually survived, and that is going to be one hell of a story, which I don't know which is going to come out first, this or that, but holy shit, I almost died. This has been a lot of fun.
How does everybody feel today?
Woo!
Alright. Well, happy Sunday. I do have a couple of housekeeping items. So back here in the back on the opposite end of the copy, there is a little box. Inside the box, there's some trinkets that were left behind on the ofrenda last night. So if you did leave some items in the ofrenda that you would like back because they are your items, please find them in the box that's right across from the copy there. Okay, guys? All right. Did everybody have fun last night?
Oh my god. So much.
Really? Did everybody have fun last night?
Yes!
Yeah, no. That was actually pretty good. Well, chapter 1, right? So hopefully that means that you will go out, spread the word, let everybody know how much fun you had, and bring your friends with you when we go to our next location. Is everybody here planning on going to Chicago or Denver?
I'm going to try.
That's what we want to hear. All right. So what we like to do is open this up for a little Q&A. Okay. So as you see, we do have our staff across the front right here. Illustrious people, I think by now you know who everybody is, but I have the microphone in hand really for you guys. So if we have people in the back who want to ask questions, I'll pass you the mic so that you can ask questions so everybody can hear it. Okay.
Anything is in scope, like we'll tell you, stuff that we can about the plots that maybe you didn't know about, questions of like what could have happened, how do we organize things, what was going through your head when you did this, and any of that is fine. There may be some stuff we want to use again, so we may not be able to fully talk about that, but we're happy to do this for you.
We also can do some shout outs about your favorite moments last night, okay guys? Yeah. All right, so hands already raised. Do you need the mic or?
No, I'm loud. So the one plot line that I saw going on last night that I did not find out the resolution, what happened with the red question? What was that about? Where did that go?
So, do you want to tell them what it was and what was going on?
Sure. Okay, so for those who don't know what the red question is, first off, it's a anarch group, very high-tech, stats you can kind of see. They claimed responsibility for the financial crash of 2008, and they hate on both the Camarilla and even Anarch leadership that aren't extreme enough. And 4 of the factions got little notes, lost pet notes that had a QR code on it. It was just like a calling card that the red question is here. And you were supposed to look for other QR codes, and it's just a scavenger hunt. Like plot-wise, going back characters, it's a scavenger hunt that each one you read has a clue to another one, leads you to another one, to information about an overall meta plot in, the world of darkness. What happened? What was the truth that happened at the Convocation of Prague, where Theobald murdered Hardestack? What actually happened there, and then what did the players do with it? And the players that got it actually presented it to the Justicar, presented it to the Prince, and got kind of reamed out for it. Like, how dare you spread this propaganda? And I was like, okay. Like, because I didn't know what people were going to do with that. I know that some people like having scavenger hunt type things, and so that's what that plot was all about. It's the race running around. It's really simple. It's on autopilot. But then the question at the end is, what do you do with this information? Because it's potentially poisonous information that you have. Do you try to bury it? Do you take down all the QR codes and hide them because you're trying to protect the Camarilla? How do you present it to the Justicar? Do you soft sell it to an Archon or friends? Try to get gains out of it? And that was up to the players, and they chose to present it to the Justicar, and kind of reamed out of how dare you spread this propaganda. They didn't die though, that was a good thing. And I understand there was a after hey, just so you know, you're cool and all that. So cool, good time.
Thank you. Who's next?
Just follow-up questions. What was the information that was given?
Am I allowed to give that out?
It's your story.
So the implication, and take this as you will, because this is coming from a suspect source. In canon, Jan Pieterzoon disappears. No one knows his fate. He's presumed dead. The implication is that he planned the whole thing with Theobald.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean, all signs kind of point to yes on that one.
Yes, they do!
Yeah.
All right, who's next? Right here. Go ahead.
So what was the mask plot? Because I know we ended that story.
What?
I'm going to take the microphone because my voice is kind of shot after the last 2 minutes, so apologies. Those were all pieces of the Death Mask of Asher. Asher being one of the several names for Cappadocius. The whole idea behind that is Cappadocius being a very forward-thinking individual, trying to unravel the secrets of life and death, the nature of the human soul, even the kindred soul, had done a lot of work, and as you know, embraced Augustus Giovanni to try to learn more secrets of death because they had a type of necromancy that the Cappadocians never had. However, he was also a very gifted user of Auspex and foresaw his own death, and prepared an elaborate ritual for the inevitability that he was going to be betrayed by his childer, and had put his soul into a mask in preparation for that. So when the time came for Augustus to do the deed, he got a lot of the physical power of Cappadocius, but his soul still remained intact in the mask. Frustrated by this, Augustus had the mask destroyed and spread across the world, but since it's all pieces of one soul, it always wanted to be back together. And you had a couple of different tug of war with it. The Auroral Shield saw it for the threat that it was, wanting to destroy it, and then the Midnight Congregation, revering their Methuselahs, Antediluvians, and Elders, wanted to have it whole again and back in their possession. So you can actually see who here was part of either the Auroral Shield or the Midnight Congregation. Dang, that's a lot of you. Well, thank you for making that a fun little epic tug of war, and
I'm sorry.
I want to send this home with one of you guys since you were all involved with that.
Oh.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good enough.
The next Malkavian party, you have to wear.
You got to tell us about your favorite part of last
Oh,
night.
nice.
Give us your favorite moment.
You can't see it.
That is
witnessed
amazing.
the fight between a Ravnos and another Ravnos.
Did you really though? Jim, you can say it actually did happen.
So Ravdos.
Not intentional. But it
Alright.
did happen.
Yeah. Do you want the mic or?
No, I don't need the mic. I just wanted, so I brought someone here who's a friend of mine who's never role-played ever, hasn't played any games, certainly never LARPed, had no clue of what was going on, and a lot of people in here interacted with her, and she had an incredible time.
She was very nice.
There were several times that I was like, hey, do you want to tell her about your clan? And like if we were playing in another game, they might have been like, fuck you for telling me what to tell people. But they were very kind and let her, ask all the questions. And I just wanted to thank y'all all for that. That's a really good LARP experience. Welcome to the family.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
And now everybody find one of those friends to bring to the next event.
Yes.
Yeah, go right ahead.
So actually, I wanted to say kind of the same thing. So I actually did, not knowingly, try to stab another Ravnos. It was not what you think it was, but, maybe subconsciously, right? But the same thing. I actually got brought into the World of Darkness by Buffy. My brother had played some stuff with back in the day, 30 years ago. Anyway, she got me into this. I'd done some LARPing outside of World of Darkness before and tabletops, but brought her. And last night, so the whole weekend was great, but so this was her first LARP, and both in and out of character, everything went perfect. So you saw the bald cap Nosferatu.
Yep. She was great.
She couldn't be here today. She had to work.
Aw.
But it was revenge to make her ugly because she was a pretty vain, mean girl. But so everything that happened last night perfectly fit into it, and she loved everything and all of y'all. And thank you guys.
Tell her she's memorable.
She was amazing.
And they're both local, in and out of character, so you can hit us up on Discord. She said if you took pictures of us or with us, then fine.
Very cool.
You know what, as a community, we often disagree about stuff, right? I mean, you guys have all seen it, right? But the one thing that we seem to always come together on and what brings people back is the people, right? You can play this rule set, you can play that rule set, but what brings people back together is the community. So I love hearing about new members of the community and everybody embracing them. So that's great. Next, yeah. Would you guys like? All right, go ahead.
So one thing I wanted to the staff and whoever came up with this and everybody for doing it. One of the big challenges, and most of you know I've been around for way too long. You show up at an event like this, it's a brand new character, you've never played them, you don't really know anybody else's character, you don't know what you're doing or why do I even care, and it's a very slow start and not a lot happens. The way you set up the factions and then took that hour at the beginning to okay, get together with your faction, here's some info, here's what you're trying to do, here's your plot cookie, scheme, now let's start game, really was an awesome way to kickstart the event. And
Yeah.
by the time we got to Battle Grind, we're like,
I still appreciate that feedback. Like I think we started writing this back in July, and like I've been going nuts because like I'm sitting there thinking I think this is gonna work. I think it's gonna work. I can't find out until like November, you know. And we can have all these meetings, and I'm like, guys, I think this works. Like, let's write it this way. Let's do it that way. And wonderfully it did. We did a prototype version of this in Saturday. I certainly give those guys credit too. We changed up the formula a little bit, and then I wanted to like give you, rather than just have it be a simple meet and greet, like we specifically made all the faction agendas so that it was a problem you couldn't solve like internally. Like you had to go and talk to somebody. The executive board had something to sell, like so they need customers and they're talking to people, the Chimera group they had people who needed things from them. So like hopefully and it seemed to work out this way that even if you just walked in and you were standing around and doing nothing, there's a good chance somebody's going to come up to you because there's a possibility that you had something that they needed, and could help them along. And even if somebody did talk to you, hey, by the way, I'm really trying to find the death mask of Asher. Apparently, have you seen it? And I think it makes for better format. I mean, the first hour of game is often awkward. Like people show up, not everybody's in character yet, and some people are still making like jokes and think, oh, I had a crazy week in this, but this is exactly what I wanted. So thanks very much to all of you for getting it, for being willing to jump into that. We were super worried because like I'd ask poor Cheshire who may be in here.
He's over
there.
Hi. Look for the smile.
Yeah,
I can see that.
How many people have signed for the factions? Which ones are full? And he's like, well, the Chimera group is already full. And I was like, damn it, like the Tana's and Trenchcoat faction filled up immediately.
There's a group of 7.
Yeah, and 7 people jumped on it, and I was like, all right, well, which one's gonna fill? And it was kind of funny because I think that one was yours. So he's like, yeah, my faction's full, and I was like, all right, let's don't worry, all of your factions will fill up too. Like, trust me on this. There's 120 plus people. We capped them at I think 12 to start.
Did any of us send our characters in last week?
Yes, we knew that it happened too. Thanks by the way for everybody going through this process. I know that the character creation steps were a little bit longer than normal, but I hope you see the payoff of putting just a little bit more thought and effort and consideration to this, so that we have a game that just gets started right away. Like I remember walking around at like 7:15. I was like, this game's already live. Like people are already going around and talking. Like
yep.
I've been at games where it's like it's almost like 9, before like people are really into things, and it just took off so quickly. So thanks so much. We'll likely keep some version of the formula going. It's been strongly suggested to me that we should. I know what you're about to say, but we should extend pretty much the main event game into 2 nights in some fashion. We did we might structurally. But I mean, there's a challenge because let's be real. How many people made their character Saturday? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
They're all lying.
Yeah, exactly. So
that will be easier in the future.
Yes. If we do that though, then everybody has to please help us out, make their characters sooner, so that if we have like these faction meetings or whatever. I thought about maybe we do delegations or something. If there's like a conclave or something, like if we do those, then the sooner everybody makes their character, then the bigger these meetings will be when we have them. So help us out there as best you can. If not. Cheshire, of course, will be back to help us next time, and right, he can't. Yeah, right. Maybe we'll give him a staff too. Yes, they can help.
Let me tag in on that vein.
Okay.
So what was the XP and where do we send our downtimes?
So downtime's also good.
All right. So this is not a club. There won't be downtimes. I am going to push for, just like we had a social this time, I would like every time we do one of these for the first night, which will probably be a Thursday, be a session 0, for you guys to catch up with each other, reestablish ties, establish
That's
new
nice.
ties, and then your Friday and Saturday night game. The other thing that we are doing, and several of you have asked for this for years, several of you have asked for it here, those of you who brought new players who have never played before, was it a year and a half ago at Dragon with, not you, so Daphne brought a staffer to me at Dragon Con year before last, who's been gaming for years, and she's a drama kid. She had never played in White Wolf. And we got done running the booths we were running at Dragon, and the rest of us were going to go play the Dark Ages game at Dragon Con, which is really fun. You should try it. It's Monty Hall, though. And she asked, okay, well, what book do I need to read
And everyone starts chuckling.
to understand White Wolf? And I'm like, well, this is a multi-splat Dark Ages game. She's like, what's a splat? I'm like, okay. She tried valiantly to get a straight answer from the two of us on what book you read.
The best way I could say was, okay, what clan do you like? Okay, what clan books are there? Oh God, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Here's a Toreador. Read everything on this. Is it all in just one book? No.
So what came out of that, because I would very much like to see our product in a Target, but nobody's going to walk up and buy World of Darkness. But if there was a way to do that, we could grow our community a lot.
Mm-hmm.
What came out of that is something that we have tried at 5 conventions now. It's called LARP Light. You can take somebody, and Mekhet is a master at it, by the way. You can take people who have never LARPed before, have never seen the system. They read one sheet that details in 2 lines what each clan is basically. And then once they choose one of those clans, they go to a spread of cards, and there are 2 cards for each discipline. They pick 1 card, and now they're in play. They're given a basic plot, and you were running, what, 2 and 4 hour sessions at Gen Con?
The game kind of started during the morning.
Right.
And then they brought their characters in for the actual Samba.
Right.
So yeah, about 2 to 2.5 hours to get started.
So what we're seeing on LARP Light is about a 50% conversion of people who've never played, who've come back for the main game in the evening. So what we want to do at the next one of these Darkness Emergents is during the day, because I want you all to go adult in the beautiful cities we bring you to, you will have an opportunity to play your ghouls and accomplish things during the day in the LARP Light system, and bring your friends in. Hey, guess who's writing that stuff? Hi, Mekhet.
I mean, I volunteer for tribute.
Good man. So that's what we would like to expand this to. So you have a way to wander around in the daytime and enjoy the city and chase MacGuffins, and then you can basically immerse
I love McMuffins.
all weekend long, either as your ghoul or as your character.
Very cool. Nice.
It was from a while ago.
That's all right, go ahead.
No, it's okay. I just had 2 shout-outs actually from our game last night. I played the werewolf last night, and I was found out way earlier than I had ever expected.
Oh, God.
The little coterie that cornered me, whoever you were, that was incredible, and I just wanted to thank you guys because you guys did a really, really great job. And it's still, even though it was kind of high tension, we were still able to thank you for working with us to be able to kind of smooth it and continue the plot. I thought that was also really, really well done. So I wanted to thank you guys for doing that. And the second one was, I'm not sure who played the seneschal, but I
Oh my God.
Does he wish to reveal himself?
I wanted to not just wave at the
Terrifying.
performance as well. It totally just narrowed whatever you were doing. You immediately had everyone's attention, and everyone was in it, no matter what you said or what you were doing. So I wanted to compliment you on your performance.
We actually had one of those asked earlier whether our characters could be carried over to the next Darkness Emergent.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, please do. Some of you may have some interesting plot items. Everybody, all the plot. There are a lot of plot items that I gave out that said, by the way, these work next time if you bring them again.
Hell yeah.
Phones for Digital Collective, the warding bracelets for the people who are exorcists. There's a new outlaw gang that is formed as a result of certain plot. You didn't have to self-incriminate at all. I would have.
Alan the Butcher, don't spoil my effort. Incrimination.
And
when you join the Wild Bunch, you don't give a play.
That's true. And the stuff that worked, like, well, we're happy to do like callbacks and shout outs, like, you know, like if between now and then you tell us that like you like certain plots, like we can write continuations of them. You know, you thought your factions, if the factions that were popular, we're probably going to bring them back in some fashion. You know, so like let us know what you like, and we're happy to write accordingly. We've got a lot of time for the next one.
Back here, Austin, 316.
I'd like to ask a question. Jimmy, can you at least summarize, because there was too much things going on, what happens really yesterday night? Because I know that most of the people here just were involved in very small threads.
Yeah,
Do we have a couple days to do this?
The strategy, at least that I suggested and recommended, is I thought like we wanted to write stories that get people talking back to each other, but we still wanted to check a couple of boxes. Like we wanted to have at least like one chance for the combat types to go and do a thing. So Chris wrote that, and then we had a huge, as often happens, like you don't always, you think you write something like, oh, maybe 5 to 7 to 8 to 10 to 12 people, and then we end up like with a cluster of like 30 people around our werewolf, all just sharing her rage at the crimes of Pentex against the spirits of San Antonio, and tearing through their whatever their factory or whatever it is that they had set up. Like and Aaron, by the way, I do want my staff. I'm so glad of these guys. This is all our first time working together. I mean, they've known each other for a while, but the two of them and Aaron, I'm so pleased at how everybody did. So thanks very much.
Aaron was upset he had to leave early this morning, unfortunately.
A lot of people jumped on the First Light thing, and I was like, Chris,
kept coming back.
I was like, Chris, like we're good on First Light. We have enough. People are like, we want to do things, and like I want to have a helicopter. And,
After you came over and said that, and I was finishing up the warehouse raid, like I go walking back in, get a small plate of the finger food, and another group of like 8 players go, hey, we want to go poke at that warehouse thing again. Like,
unfortunately, that may have been somewhat our fault, because as we were pushing, the Ravnos book thing, I kept saying we think that that First Light had it because of the whatever race. So we kept directing people in that direction, saying First Light might have it, and that
so like the third
for a
group,
lot
I'm
of
like, okay, well you come upon the warehouse and there's just this massive building fire.
Yeah, you're the instigator.
Shout out to the gang girl who just walked in.
To tie us together though,
like a full whip, it could have been.
Like it's fine though. Like if the players very often vote with their feet, they're interested in doing that. So like, sure, we're going to accommodate it as best we can. Yeah. It's totally fine. I suggest that we don't write our stuff in ways that like allowed us to be free and wandering around, and not tie up our time too much. So I hope you found us relatively available. Hopefully we've not aligned 1 or 2 people deep. I mean, if somebody found me and they need one of the storytellers or something, I did my best to say, rather than say, hey, go find them, I said, well, let's go find them together. And if I knew they're along the line, I'd say, well, just quickly tell me about the plot, and I'll help resolve the next step or something like that. So I hope that made for a good experience for everybody. I've done this a while myself. I know it's rough when you're just wandering around, the site looking for a storyteller, and they're like in a secret room on like 2 floors up, and there's like a line of people, and you're just like, what the hell? Yeah, exactly. That too.
Well, that's fine. That's fine.
So
it was because I actually watched all you guys, so I could tell them where you were.
Oh, good.
It's easier to win.
Or ask Coop. Coop has done this a while himself, and is very good. Bye. Thanks very much, Coop, for joining us. Again. Coop was he was the first call for taking care of our security and event management and stuff like that. So we're so grateful to have him back again.
While we're talking about some of the people like Coop, a lot of behind the scenes people who do a lot to make these events take place, right? And clearly we have our great storytellers and very talented people, but we also have people behind the scenes who do a lot of work too, right? Much as Coop has. I want to give a shout out to Celia as well. None of this could have happened happen without her, right? She's doing a lot of work behind the scenes, processing a lot of this stuff for us. So thank you so very much. Okay. Yeah. 1 second. I have one more announcement to make, and we'll get you. Okay. Yeah. All right. So this is what the golden tickets look like, guys. See the golden ticket? There's 3 more golden tickets out there in our BNF shops. Okay. The shop is still open. If you want to purchase anything, should you get the golden ticket, you get $250 more stuff. Okay. So. Nice.
Yeah.
I know,
right?
One went today.
Yeah. Who got that one this morning?
This was This is what it looks like. So go shopping. Maybe you'll get the ticket. There's 3 more. Yes, Chester.
If you give it to me, I'll review your character first.
Like Brian.
What?
Create a life code.
All right, so we have a question over here.
Oh, well, so, a recollection. So look, what happened was.
Oh, God.
There may have been a Boulder whoopsies at some point in the night, and top 4 things that happened for me. And as the chalice was being lifted, the professional photographer may have just popped around the corner, and all of a sudden there's a flash with a certain number of people drinking from this chalice, and the photographer is just like, I don't know, he just sniffed out like, oh, this shouldn't be happening. So,
the photographer actually doesn't know anything about the game.
I know.
So
It's like he has no idea, but like we were clearly being very secretive, and for like 5 minutes he's circling, and the flash is going off, and it's like, all right. But no one noticed.
But that's okay, because you can't play Sabat in this game. So it's fine.
It's just the friendship cup.
It's the friendship cup.
It's okay. It's an honored tradition in the Anarch movement.
I mean, that's where it started.
All right, yes, ma'am.
Was there an official stance on Thin Bloods or Caitiff in the Camarilla City? And if so, were there any that were out and about that weren't moonlighting as maybe a venture or something else?
Are you trying to call people out?
I gave a lot of leeway to the prince to do certain things. Like there's certain things that we needed like the NPCs to do. But I always feel it's best like when you can let NPCs like make it, like own the role and make it their own. Our prince, I think, had a few courtesies. I don't think any extended to Thin Bloods at all. I don't think there was an official stance. And to be honest, like the mindset we encourage, like if you show up and you play a thing, you know, like we don't want, like even if we had a Tremere Prince and like a trio of Salubri walked in, like it's just not a good experience. It's like, all right, we'll grab them, you know, and like they're
instant death.
Right, like we'll fudge. Right, like we'll fudge it. We'll find ways to make it work. You know, it's like you guys, this is your vacation, and if you're out of game like in the first 10 minutes, like why did you come? Like,
Yeah.
we're not gonna do that to you.
And for those who were playing Thin Bloods, congratulations on not being found.
All right, go ahead. Okay.
I just want to apologize to the storyteller staff for, in character, having all of you turned into the Camarilla as suspect now.
Wait, so already suspect.
It's like, you all work for Black Dog, so, you know.
So Megan, he's a content creator, and he does various videos. And I'm hanging out, like talking to some people. One of them walks up and starts showing me one of his videos, and I was like, yeah, right, he's playing our game. He's right over there. They're like, no. He says this is all in characters. Like he says that he has this vampire content, and he's willing to say that his character has made this. And they're like, yeah, what do we do? I was like, go shake him down. Go. and I'm like, he's in a chair and he's explaining himself. I'm like, he's dead. Like,
I got status.
There's no way that he talks to, like he's like making me, I am a vampire. Here's how being a vampire works. And like, no, he talked his way out. So like, good job.
The Camarilla Court said, thank you, good job, keep doing it. Here are 3 employees. I got an editing staff for my videos and came now.
Yeah, I just wanted the dramaticality of the scales plot to kind of explain like what was going on with that, just so people here know just how much the prince was affected and what they did to actually
The short version or the long version?
Short version.
Short version. All right. So these are a version, modern updated version, the scales of Mod, Anubis, heart, feather, all that. Question is asked by an assessor, and that question has to relate to morality. Have you killed while feeding? I don't care what your answer is. What you care about is whether you lied or told the truth. If you told the truth, a stone went on the right side. If you lied, it went on the left side. And the heavier side influenced the relative humanity of the prince. So by the end of the night, it was like 33-6, people telling the truth. Vampires are supposed to lie, what's wrong with you? And so the prince was feeling, hey, this is pretty good, you guys are all cool. Like basically like super high humanity at that point. Even though
That's interesting.
The best part was that the prince and all of her happiness, and then the Malkavian walks up and goes, okay, so there's some things going on, let me tell you. And she just went, they didn't want to the ofrenda. I am working on it. I can see you talk to the ghosts and they're really upset, but I'm working on it. And I walk up. Oh yeah, by the way, something else is happening. She's like, what now? I'm working on that too, but here's what's going on. Oh my God, sorry, getting on it. And then I go right by the like, I'm keeping an asshole. And then I came back, I'm like, okay, we fixed it. One of them. But we fixed it.
Thank goodness the scales weren't stolen.
Oh my God.
So whoever got off really, really easy with a bunch of your shenanigans and friends, you're welcome.
Yeah, just gonna add earlier, how is it all of you get suspect for something like that, but when I, the La Sombra Anarch, am talking to a Strigoi Venture in front of everybody, nothing happened? Right ahead.
Was there something in play that was requiring players to not talk above a whisper? Because there was a lot of whispering in a very loud venue, which made pretty much one of the instructions from our leaders impossible.
Okay, I'll tell you about that plot. So there was, I wrote a plot, I called it Cowboys and Exorcists. And there were like, I thought of the name and I thought it was like super clever, you know, right? So that was one of our previews. So the ghosts that were members of the Butch Cassidy gang, because it's Day of the Dead, they're like, we want to get together to do one final heist. And but they know that people are looking for them because they're planning on doing some shoots. So I recruited three people to be basically cowboys, and I handed them cards. And the cards are, you know, the spirits approach you. It's made a deal. You know, it has there's like a couple beneficial effects because it's looking out for you. But it always came with like a tick. And one of them was you could not speak above a whisper. The other one's like you can't look anyone in the eyes. And the other one was that you're extremely restless. You can't stay still for more than 2 minutes. And so there were wanted posters all throughout the site that like had the name of the outlaw and like basically their nervous tick. So that people were going around the crowd, like supposed to be trying to find people who can only seem to whisper. People just can't seem to look them in the eye, you know, or like who's just not sitting still. At 10 o'clock, they circled up and they went and they did a heist, and they robbed a place. They stole a bunch of stuff, and they had a lot of fun. And the Exorcist team did really, really well. They were very close. They found all the clues. They thought they found a person. There's a mechanic. I might have made it a little too easy for the cowboys to escape because like you could transfer the you know, if you had somebody you trusted, they could possess somebody else for a while, you know. But as consolation, like everybody on the Exorcist team gets to keep like their little magic item and bring it next time, and it'll work just the same. And if enough people like the plot, there may be something else. But yes, that's why somebody and perhaps multiple people can only whisper.
Okay.
So I know that we could be here all day asking the storytellers questions, but we only have time for one more question, okay? So first hand up. Gotcha. Go ahead.
Thank you. I'm
you can, you have the mic?
Yes. Thank you. Two things. First, I want to thank everyone that interacted with me last night. This was my very first American LARP.
Awesome.
And as I told my Chimera faction mates, I had no idea what was going on at any given time. They're all completely lost.
So I just jump in, engage as my character, and I was not able to follow any lead that was planned for the game, but I was having fun. I try to approach as many of you and try to have one-on-one interactions and just developing my character's goals and things like that. And that's the thing that I wanted to thank everyone that interacted with me and allowed me to play along with you. Thank you very much.
Very awesome.
All right, guys, any last thoughts?
I enjoyed having a Toreador tell me they were scared of me.
You're scary.
I'm a happy Valkavian. What's so scary about
That's scary.
Oh, yeah, thanks so much, everybody. I mean, as I often say, writing is a very solitary pursuit, and like it's been hard sitting on this stuff for months, just hoping that you guys would enjoy it, and you have. And the game was amazing. I can't wait for the pictures. All of you look fantastic. I was so thrilled with that, and please come back. We're going to do this again soon.
Thank you, everybody.
Please don't forget we have the box with items from the Ofrenda that were unclaimed. Please get those. I'm told also we're giving away a second Christmas ornament too, since we brought so many downstairs. Silent auction ends at 11:59.
Yeah, and as you go stand up, let's give one big, huge round of applause for our VIPs who win NPCs. Thank you so much. There is not a big fun without you. All right, guys.
All right, guys. So I am now here with Eric from Desert of Shadows in Las Vegas, and I just got to ask you, what did you think about the plot line last night? Like,
it was amazing. It was incredibly intricate. There were multiple plot lines going at the same time. The fact that how they set up the game, you didn't have that initial kind of like, who do I need to know? Who do I need to be friends with? We were immediately trying to make deals, trying to meet people, trying to get MacGuffins and things together to kind of like play. And we played an entire night, and that's very rare in one shot.
There was no opening lull, which there usually is.
Yeah, exactly. You had these immediate, hey, this is what's going on. This is our intel. Who do we need to talk to? Oh, well, these guys like to free people. We know that there's some captured kindred. We got to go free them. Or let's go talk to them. We know some tech guys. Go talk to the tech guys. We need to solve whatever that is. Talk to the magic guys. We need to destroy the magic thingy, whatever. But there was always somebody that we could go to solve the problem that we were facing.
Yeah, storyteller team was on point.
100%. 100%.
Very cool, very cool. Well, I had a really great time playing with you and meeting people from Desert of Shadows, which I've been in contact with you guys for a while now, but it's the first time I've ever met anybody, so that is so awesome. I guess last thing I really wanted to, do you want to plug Desert of Shadows?
Absolutely. If you're ever in Las Vegas, Desert of Shadows is the game to be. We're a large game, and Alex, our storyteller, I've been playing since the mid to late 90s. I've been in multiple large games, multiple World of Darkness games. I love this game. Alex is by far the best storyteller I have ever played with. His stories are amazing, and we want you to come out. If you come out to Las Vegas, join our Facebook page, let us know you're coming out. We'll happily play with you.
Very cool. I guess thank you, Eric, very much for taking the time to talk with me. And I look forward to getting home and putting all this together so that you guys can see it. So, bye. Okay, guys, I am here with Sophie from Canada at Midnight. One of the you're one of the representatives of Canada at Midnight.
Currently the secretary.
Currently the secretary.
I
Very
am,
cool.
yes.
And I'm trying to get everybody's opinion on what happened. So, Sophie, what do you think about what happened this event?
What do I think about what happened this event? I think that it was a wonderful opportunity for community building and experiencing the growing pains of organizing an event in joint capacities and learning how to make it more cohesive for everyone and a way to work together. And I thought it was a fantastic experience. It was a huge success, and everybody really brought it. I think it was great.
I think that's the best way of putting it. Yeah, everybody really just brought it.
Everybody really just brought it. They're just like, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it, and it's going to be great, and that's exactly how it happened, which is really good.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Do you have any favorite parts of the whole thing, of the whole event?
Honestly, it was the sense of community that came out of it. I love seeing a bunch of geeks, for the lack of a better word.
We all geek out over our fandom.
We are exactly that, and I think it was absolutely magical to be able to come together in that same kind of love of the same game and be able to just bring it to life in a completely new city, in a completely new kind of convention with a new book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome.
Now, you participated in the Canada at Midnight game that we all had, which was just amazing. What did you think about that specific game?
I think that game could have used a couple more storytellers if I'm going along with the whole growing pains thing.
Okay.
I think next time we'd be able to organize it so that we have a bit more assistance to have available for players. But otherwise, people seem to really latch onto the story,
Yeah.
which was interesting. People who were new to the game really threw themselves into their characters and their costume, which was neat, and the venue was really interesting.
Very pretty.
Yeah,
Very
it was
pretty venue.
Very gorgeous venue. Yes.
And what about last night's game, the main event?
Yeah, the main event, the BNS LARP, which we also helped organize. We had a blast, I have to say. Going in as an NPC, I love NPCing, but going in for a different organization and helping that out, I didn't know what I was getting myself into, but it was like tenfold the feeling that you got, the warmth that you got from everyone just loving what they were experiencing in an even bigger and even more beautiful place. It was fantastic. And having people come up after and saying how much they love their experience and you could see the stars in their eyes, I thought that was just worth all the little nervous butterflies I had before.
Do you want to tell us about your character you played last night?
Yes. I played a Bahari, representative of the Midnight Congregation, but I was in it for myself, for the Cult of Lilith, of course. Praise the Dark Mother.
You were a very convincing Lamia.
Yes, I was.
Yes.
I was one of the Lilin, a Gorgon type of, yes. It was a lot of fun to play. I actually had to read up on them. It's not a clan that I was very familiar with. I'd read about them a bit, but kind of skimmed over it because it was never something that was allowed to be played or that I was given the opportunity to NPC. So being able to launch myself into that kind of roles are a lot of fun.
They are one of my favorite Hikata.
Yeah?
Like all times, and you did a great job, I gotta say that.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
was very happy with what I came up with, and you know what? It's kind of given me the need to play it again.
Yeah.
I felt a bit like a cult leader. It was great. Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
So do you think that you're going to end up helping with more BNS events in the future?
I mean, Camp Club is absolutely willing to see where future endeavors would go. Everything went fairly well between our club and the BNS, the whole crew. We're open to talking again. We have plans to talk again, so we'll see what we're able to organize in the future.
Okay.
For sure.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Now, do you want to tell basically the Our World of Darkness community about Canada at Midnight?
Okay, Canada at Midnight. It's not just for Canada.
Yes, I caught that.
Yeah, not just for Canada, but we are a Canada not-for-profit organization, corporation, I should say, and we are a club, and we like to LARP principally.
Okay.
I'm French, you guys have to forgive me. Mainly in the World of Darkness setting.
Okay.
So this can be mage, werewolf, changeling, hunter, and vampire being the most prominent and popular one.
Okay.
And what we do is we have different chapters in different cities and in different states, because we do have our American cousins that join the club as well. And we call these domains, and they'll each have storytellers and a domain coordinator. And together, they will have a local story that can tie into the national story, so it creates a larger fantasy world for everyone to interact in, which is kind of really what's magic about it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say that meeting everybody that I got to meet through this whole thing has been amazing. I'm so happy that we're now friends, and I look forward to keeping in contact with you. And oh God, it's over. It sucks. But I get to go home, and you get to go home,
I get to
and
go
you got a
home.
long travel ahead of you.
All the way back to Montreal? No, even norther of Montreal.
Norther.
Norther of Montreal. I'm going to Quebec City. So
All right. So this is probably going to be the last interview that I do, and then I have to go home.
When are you leaving?
I'm leaving now.
You're leaving now.
I'm leaving now.
There you go. So yes.
So I gotta hit the road, but this has been incredible.